Alright, next video is going to be bringing a deadly sniper to justice in Shadow of Doubt. This is one of the recommended videos that, again, I wanted to watch in September, but, you know, Mother Nature said no. We're going to take your power, and then we're going to give it back, and then we're going to take your internet away. So here we are, catching up. Yeah, let's check this out. Let's see what this is about. Because we watched that other video from another creator that was really good. And made me want this game because it was so fucking hilarious. Let's see what they got. Let's see what they got.
I didn't think being away this long would hurt as much as it did. After all, everyone needs a little time off. But what do you do when the city depends on you to bring justice to those whose days are over and long gone? What do you do when the city depends on you to deal with the constant growing crime statistics? The murders, the safety of the everyday citizen. A few months ago, I would have told you there was no murder I couldn't solve. But the other day I got a call about something disturbing happening in a small city called Amber Hill. I knew there was only one thing I could do. I had to remind myself who I once was. Detective Wags.
Detective Wags? Oh, okay, I have to give that one to you guys. Yes, Lego Friday the 13th. That would be again, it would probably end up being bad, but the novelty of it, to see what they would try to do with it. How would they try to make it work? Just for that alone, I would try it. What shenanigans are we gonna get to now? Because if I remember right, like, in this game, a lot of the stuff that happens to you is, like, unique. Like, it's all random ass shit that can happen to you. Like, no game is the same for everybody.
Back to the grindstone.
If I remember right.
For some reason, I thought my days of hunting down murderers and killers were far gone, but I was naive to think I would ever get out of the business. After all, I'm one of the best, so the calls still come in. I could change the number, but even if I won't admit it, this is my life. For those familiar with my routine when stepping into these new cities, you'd be correct in thinking I stopped by the first food joint in town, the Salty Wolf. I hovered over the listings board, checking through the different jobs. It was always a good way to get a feel for the city. I stumbled into a random apartment building, and it was quite clear that a blind person must have misplaced their screwdriver. Why do I think they're blind? No reason. I grabbed it and planned to return it later, but something more important came up. The reason I was here to begin with.
Nice.
A gunshot echoed through the air, no doubt muffled by some sort of suppressor. If I wouldn't have been standing right in this spot, I don't
narrating
think I would have heard
it like we're in a fucking noir movie or something.
Silence. I knew any second now, hell was gonna break loose.
Lego scary movie.
Just as I thought,
that would actually work somehow.
Me, beelining for the Salty Wolf. The enforcers were on their way. I only had a matter of time, and being that I was a little rusty, I needed all the time I could get to examine the crime scene before the enforcers
Investigator.
arrived.
I think I remember what you're talking about, Yomi.
To the 12th floor, and even interrogated the owner before I realized this was the wrong apartment. Look, I literally just said I was a little rusty, so cut me a break.
Yeah, it's like that instance where it's like it either happens to you or someone else, and it's just such a "are you for real" moment where it's like let's see, I can't find my glasses, and they're literally on your face. It's one of those moments. It's like, I can't find my phone. It's in your hand. Like, you... That's actually happened to someone I know. Like, she couldn't find her phone, and she was on the phone talking to someone, and was like, I can't find my phone. I can't find my phone. It's like, you're talking on it? Yeah, investigator is like, it's basically what it Sounds like it's you're a gator that investigates shit, I think. If I'm remembering right.
And so, of course, by the time I got to the right apartment, an enforcer was already trying to get the door down. Unfortunately, the only thing I could do was stand to the side
I love
and peek
investigation
into the doorway.
games, but yeah, I'm
From
shit
a
at
distance,
puzzles.
I could see some blood on the curtains, but that's really all.
It's weird,
As
because
another enforcer showed up to help with
I'm
the
a scaredy
subpar
cat and I love
investigation they were
horror.
about to conduct,
I'm shit at puzzles, but I
decided
love
to see if the building had a
detective
security
shit.
room.
And puzzles.
Bingo.
But I'm shit.
Thankfully, no one was inside, but that also meant no access to the computer either. I went through all the drawers, found some change, and ooh, don't mind if I do. I tried to look through the apartment records, but sadly I couldn't find anything for apartment 10.
Listen, it's like some people are lactose intolerant, but you know what? That's not going to stop them. Are they going to live half their life on the toilet bowl? Probably, but they're going to still eat that dairy. They're going to slurp up that milkshake. You know, so we all have weaknesses. All right? Mine are puzzles and stealth.
When I got back to the crime scene, it was all taped off, and honestly, I wasn't even surprised to find that the enforcers were already gone. There it was, the body. Male, average height, short black hair, lying in a pool of blood directly in the living room. From what I could tell, the victim was shot to death with a rifle between the hours of 8:30 a.m. and 9:45 a.m. There was an ID on the TV next to the body. Definitely our victims. And now we had a name. Barack Cohn. There was still the enormous stain of blood on the curtains, but I couldn't seem to figure out where the shot came from until I looked a little closer. A tiny hole through the chipped glass. Did it come from directly across the street? Somewhere farther or closer? I felt I had everything I needed so far, but while I was inside, an enforcer started bashing the door. I readied myself with a fire extinguisher just in case. And they were gone. The extinguisher was all for nothing. That's just great.
Well. Alright,
we were back to the outdoors. And of course, the other building sitting directly across from our murdered victim just had to be the Blancora Hotel. Finding where the shot came from in this building would be almost impossible, but that's never stopped me before. I headed for the stairs, but the bar at 6 o'clock was calling for me. No, I'm dead serious. I could hear it talking. Come on, just one isn't gonna hurt you. Miss you. For now, I was stronger than these temptations, and I pushed onto the first set of rooms facing the victim's building. The first room was completely windowless, both in the living room and the bathroom, which marked this one completely off my list. The second room definitely was a possibility.
I couldn't live in one of those.
Perfect shot.
Like, I know that's a legit thing, even to this day.
Records or evidence inside.
Where it's like they have like apartments and shit where there's like no windows in the entire thing. That would drive me crazy. As much as I make fun of like hating the goddamn sun, not having a window, not even for just like, you know, letting sunlight in, but also windows are used for like emergency situations as well. It's just crazy. I couldn't do it. Fucking jail cells have windows, okay?
Winter wasn't home. So for now, I decided to move on. When checking out the third room on this side of the building, there was a key under the mat, so I quietly let myself in, but I was pretty sure someone was here with me, so I had to be quick. It was another room with a perfect vantage point.
Max
but while
Payne?
searching through the premise,
I haven't played those games in forever. I love the Max Payne games. Oh shit. Oh shit, it's getting serious.
Already I was causing more damage than I was stopping. I was done checking rooms for now. I made my way to the roof, but it was clear that anything higher than the 5th floor wouldn't be able to see down into Barack's apartment. And just like that, I was back onto the cold, windy streets. You might ask, well, what's next? You'd be surprised how helpful word of mouth can be. So I went around talking to the people on the street to see if I could get any information.
Ew,
but
talking
no one
to
had
people?
anything useful yet. I decided it was time to stop by City Hall and grab the papers for the investigation, and while I was there, I snatched a couple of sync discs. I brought them both to the sync clinic and had them
Heard the
immediately
PS2
installed.
version was the worst version to play.
One
I don't know.
shortening my
That's the
height,
only
and
version
one
I
basically
played.
giving me more pockets.
I remember playing it when it on the PS2.
Walking out of the
And
sync
actually,
clinic, I didn't feel any shorter.
Now that I think about it, probably, yeah. It might be the worst version, because I remember first time playing it, I think it was like the very last thing you had to do, and I was stuck on it, and I don't know why, because I thought I was doing it right. Like, I tried it so many ways at the ending to, like, get that final cutscene. It was like the final thing you had to do, but I think it glitched and it just wouldn't work. So I literally didn't beat the game until years later when I tried it again, because for some reason, the first time I played it, at the end, it just would not work at all. Like, I was doing it right, but it wasn't functioning. It was like, I don't understand what you're trying to do. You're doing it wrong. It's like, no, I'm doing it right, actually. Yeah, that was frustrating, because I was like right at the end. I didn't find out until years later. It was literally the last part of it. No, it was brand new.
But standing next to
Brand
the
new.
other citizens
I got
had
it
me
brand new.
rethinking that pretty quickly. I was back to asking questions.
I actually
and
have it
took
on
a
my
while,
shelf
but
right here.
Then I got
PlayStation
lucky.
Max Payne.
A street vendor said they saw
PlayStation
someone
2.
of average build acting suspicious around Foster Boulevard at 9:30
I can actually look
this
at it right
morning,
here.
which lined up perfectly with the time of murder.
Hold on, let me. I don't know
And then
if
for the first time,
let's see if the
my
mic will
eyes
pick it
locked
up.
onto some troubling street graffiti.
Did you hear me open the case?
They were symbols for black market weapons dealers. And to think that one was supplying a murderer in this city with deadly firearms, it just motivated me to keep working and put an end to all of this even more. Knowing there was a weapons dealer in this city, I headed for the directory.
Even now, the disc
I
barely
don't mean
has
to pat
anything on
myself
it.
on the back, but I consider myself
After
pretty
all
good
these
at picking
years.
out names and faces from a crowd. So as I carefully sifted through the dozens of businesses, I wrote down a few that stuck out to me. Poison Warehouse, Reliable Essentials, and Triplex DIY Company. Before checking those out, though, I bought a newspaper from the stand, and sure enough, the murder had already been written about, and it had exactly what I was hoping for: a witness by the name of Jarek Maddox. I could tell I was getting closer to figuring
this
this
month
all
I'm
out,
doing spooky
but when
stuff.
Jarek's name
Yeah,
didn't appear in the directory,
I actually
knew it was
should
gonna be
play
a
some
little
Max
trickier
Payne
to
games
find
as
him.
well.
Normally, I don't like using the government database to
It's
my
been a
advantage,
while since
but in
I've
this
played them.
case, I had no real way
They're
of
so
asking
good.
anyone who Jarek was. I needed a picture. When I printed the file, no address, no workplace, which explained why I couldn't find them in the directory. But I had a picture now. And by some insane stroke of luck, I somehow happened to stumble upon Jarek's homeless neighbor, who told me she just saw him today on Santiago Street around 4:30. So I immediately started running through the streets like a madman, seeing if I could recognize Jarek from the picture I had. Sure enough, after rounding a few blocks, I finally found him. I just knew he was gonna have something important to say. This was a huge blow to morale.
Not a
Was
damn
I
thing.
lacking in the prime skills I used to harness as a detective? It felt like I had lost my touch. I really was worried that any moment that radio would go off again, and there'd be a second murder. I was just taking too long. I finally gave in. I grabbed a seat at the hotel bar
Oh yeah,
with a bottle
the Max
of
Payne
vodka
games are like a
and
fucking
just drank
fever
the
dream.
sadness away. Drank the worry away. But sometimes, in my darkest moments, I prevail.
See, when I played them, like, I
still had a list of potential dealers,
was
so that
not
was my
old
next
enough to play them.
objective. One by one, I
Like,
crossed
I
each
shouldn't be
one off
playing
my
them,
list.
but I
The
fucking
first
did.
being an underground gambler's den. The second, a black
Because
market
again, I
sync
have the
clinic.
case for the
And the third,
OG Max
Reliable
Payne.
Essentials, seemed like it could have been the place.
You know
But
what
when
it's
they
rated?
asked for the password,
M for mature.
Blitzkrieg, which was
That was
plastered
not
all around
me.
the city, was incorrect. Reliable Essentials might have been some sort of black market dealer, but it wasn't the weapons dealer that I was so desperately searching for. Which meant it was time to start breaking down doors.
Ah, shit. I love how illegal action just keeps popping up.
I finally broke into what definitely struck me as a weapons business immediately. I snuck in quietly, thinking the place was empty, but I couldn't be more wrong.
Oh shit.
The sales ledger was right
I
on the
love how
counter,
the
and
immediate
right away,
reaction
there were 5 names that immediately caught
is
my
to just
attention.
literally yeet
All
something
who had bought either a
at the
rifle
person.
or ammo within a day of the murder, one being only 25 minutes before. R. Sujimoto.
Welcome back, Yumi.
They were going to be the first person I checked, slowly working backwards. But little did I know, I wouldn't have to work backwards at all. Because
Like
the
4
moment I
years
looked
old.
up Sujimoto in the directory,
Little
and
younger
the
than I
address
was.
listed as 301 Blancora Hotel, my stomach sank. I had been there before in the very beginning. All I could ask myself was, did I miss something? I still had the key from earlier when I found it under the mat, so I let myself in during the dark of night while they were sleeping. Another look at the window gave me the same feeling it did last time, that it was a perfect vantage point to take the shot, and I wasn't talking about drinking this time. A crumpled letter stashed away in a drawer listed a variety of individuals. To me, it looked like a hit list. But in the midst of my search, they woke up.
Oh shit. Oh shit, they're gonna kill your ass. They're gonna kill your ass. They said fisticuffs. Fisticuffs. Well,
Since they were now knocked out, it gave me the opportunity to confirm everything I needed. They had rifle ammo on their person and 2 final
this is
items
how
that
you make an
sealed the
arrest.
deal. Another note. All of them dead walking. None of them have a clue. And then hidden away in the bathroom, the weapon itself.
alright,
Their
good luck
name
at class.
was Reina
Good night.
Sujimoto.
Thanks for stopping
And
by
I
and
was
chatting.
100% certain that they were our killer. I made a quick trip to City Hall to buy some cuffs, and thankfully returned to her still at home, dazed. Now that she was in cuffs, she flat out admitted to the murders, asking, do I think they're the only killer in the city? And if they didn't want to be shot, they should have closed their curtains.
What?
I filled out
Wow.
all the information with what I figured was correct, but either way, I knew I had the right person. And as I made the slow, rewarding walk back to City Hall to turn in the case, I realized I still had what it takes to clean these streets. Just like that, the case of the distant sniper was solved. The murder weapon's new home would be the ocean floor, and even though this case was done and over with, this city was still full
Just
of people
yeeted that
with
fucking
evil
sniper.
intentions, and it was my job to make sure they're brought to justice. So as an homage to one of my first solved cases, I grabbed a bottle and set foot to the roof. I only
Yeah,
had
I
one
definitely
thought as I
played
stared down to
GTA
the cityscape.
at
And
a
that
very
was,
not
it's
appropriate
good
age.
to be back.
I think majority of people have, honestly.
Hey everyone, thanks for sticking
Nice.
around until the end of the video. It really shows me that you love the content and care about supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me.
Yeah, this is
so thank
a
you.
good video.
I
I
hope
like
you enjoyed this
I liked
epic
how
comeback. I'll probably do
they
a few more
narrated
Shadow
it like it was
related videos in the future,
like
as
you were
well
in
as
a
some review
noir
videos talking
movie,
about some games or
TV
demos
show.
that I've been interested in. Kind of like the newest Star Trucker video that I just put out a little bit ago.
I've been
Please
playing
go
that,
check
Star
out if
Trucker.
you haven't already. Essentially, people tell me I'm really good at finding certain games that otherwise fly past people's radars, if you get what I mean, so I want to bring attention to those games. Plus, get back into what you guys love, random stories and crazy environments. Just to give you an idea of games that are still on my list, games like RimWorld, Sims, Project Zomboid, and much more. I'm sure some
That's
of you
a
are probably
random
wondering
grab
about
bag of
Voices the
games,
Void
but
as
okay.
well. I know a lot of you were probably loving that series. There was only going to be one part left for the wrap-up of 40 or 50 days, however there many are in the story. But if you didn't know, the game has received a major update and overhaul. Basically, the base looks completely different and there's a bunch of new stuff. The thing is, I said this in a comment too, if I want to update the game and play with all the cool new stuff, I'm pretty sure I have to lose my progress in the process when updating. And no offense, but I just have a lot of other stuff I want to focus on right now rather than replaying that all again. despite how amazing of a game it is.
Yeah, I think the only GTA games I haven't played
However, if
were
you're
the
all cool
original
with it,
two.
I'll keep playing on the version I was. I'll wrap up the
Like, the
series
first
with a
GTA
final
game I
part,
played was
and then
3.
who knows, maybe we'll update the game and do a video in sandbox mode. I'm
And
really
then
not sure.
Vegas, and then San
As of right now,
Andreas,
that's really
so
all
on
I
and
have
so
to
forth.
say. Thank you all again for watching the videos. You're all awesome. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, because you know it all helps me out. I hope you're all having an amazing day, and I will see you all on the next one.
Yeah. That was a good video. That boy wags. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I love the narration, the goofy times. Because I have a feeling even if you tried to take this game seriously, it's just situations just make it goofy as hell. Yeah, that was a good video. I enjoyed it.